Have you ever realized that the letter M in the palm of your hand could be the code of a spiritual mission destined to heal the world? The M-shaped marking on your palm, when aligned with the heart line, creates an energetic bridge between the physical and the subtle. This isn't merely an anatomical coincidence. For the ancient masters of spiritual wisdom, this configuration indicated that the bearer possessed an exceptionally sensitive and at the same time powerful heart chakra. The heart chakra is the center of compassion, unconditional love, and healing. When it is balanced, it allows you to connect with others without losing yourself, to feel deeply without falling ill. However, when unresolved traumas arise, especially those tied to rejection, abandonment, or emotional losses, that energy can become blocked. It is precisely then that the M mark reveals its most mysterious function. It not only signals the spiritual mission linked to love, but also acts as a catalyst for healing. People with this marking often experience intense emotional episodes. They are the ones who love too much, feel too much, and weep for reasons they cannot fully understand. They may even become physically ill because they cannot energetically release what they feel. This is not weakness, it is pure spiritual sensitivity. Emotional turmoil in this context is not a defect, but a reminder that a higher calling awaits your response, a gift you can access only when the heart stops merely suffering and begins to radiate. The true purpose of this mark is to restore the vibration of love as a transformative force, not only in personal relationships, but across the collective. When you recognize this power within yourself, everything changes. You cease to be wounded and become the healing. A rare configuration appears on some hands, the M mark on both palms like a mirror, especially when it touches or crosses directly over the heart line. Ancient esoteric traditions regard this alignment as one of the most powerful signs of a soul carrying deep memories of interrupted journeys and unfinished emotional missions. Mirrored hands with similar markings represent a duality in balance, masculine and feminine, light and shadow, past life and present. When that symmetry is broken or altered by intersecting lines in the heart region, the symbolism goes further. We are facing a being whose soul has experienced profound emotional losses in other lifetimes, a love that never materialized, a promise made and unfulfilled, a reunion delayed. That crossing of the mark and line reveals, according to Hermetic masters, an emotional reset point. In other words, your current life was designed with strategic encounters, often intense and inexplicable, whose purpose is to reactivate that memory and offer a new chance to complete what was left unfinished. Have you ever felt an instant connection with someone, as if you had known them for ages, even though you had never met? Or had brief encounters that completely changed the course of your life? These are activation triggers, moments when your soul and your palm align and the heart line speaks louder than the mind. If you bear this trait, know this: you did not come merely to love, you came to complete a story, and that story is far greater than you imagine. When the M mark connects with the heart line, there is a very high chance that Venus's energy is intensely activated in your natal chart. This goes beyond romantic relationships. Venusian influence impacts your sense of worth, your inner beauty, your spiritual magnetism, and your sensitivity to recognize the sacred in others. Venus is the planet of connection, art and harmony. When it touches sensitive points in the chart of someone with this mark on their palm, it signals a profound emotional purpose. Often, these are souls who came to heal ancient love wounds, not only personal, but collective ancestral patterns of pain, abandonment, or emotional imbalance. Their mission is to restore the frequency of elevated love. This can manifest in unexpected ways, sometimes through challenging relationships that force self-knowledge, other times through art, writing, music, or the wordless sensitivity that moves others deeply. Furthermore, Venusian energy activates karmic redemptions, ancient lessons returning disguised as passion or intense connection. That is why those with this mark often feel they attract overly intense relationships. It is not bad luck, but mission, part of a cycle that must be consciously closed. Recognizing this influence is the first step to breaking patterns and making space for higher vibration bonds. Because when the heart is at peace with the past, it becomes a living temple for the purest love there is. Among Nostradamus's least understood writings, there is an enigmatic passage in the 8th century quatrains that has puzzled scholars for centuries. It speaks of the line split by pain, diverting the chosen from their solar path. Many dismissed it as political metaphor, but ancient occultists assert this is a direct reference to the heart line and the vibrational deviation that occurs when emotional pain disrupts the soul's mission. In spiritual palm reading, a broken, fragmented, or interrupted heart line indicates deep traumas, often connected to childhood, loss of emotional bonds, or events leaving invisible scars. When this occurs in someone with the M mark, the effect is even more intense. The deviation is not only emotional but energetic. The Kabbalistic interpretation of that verse reveals something powerful. The solar path represents the vital flow of the being, their original mission before forgetfulness. And the split line symbolizes the moments when the soul, overwhelmed by pain, temporarily loses its orientation. But all is not lost. The same verse in its Latin version speaks of the inner star that will be rekindled when the mirror is touched. Spiritually, this means that recognizing yourself through reflections, like this text for instance, can reactivate your original destiny. Realigning with that path requires courage, looking inward and accepting that the pain you felt was part of your mission, not punishment but preparation, not penitence but initiation. You did not fail, you only paused, and now the prophecy awakens and the path reopens. What unites most people marked by the letter M is the intensity with which they feel and often suffer. But there is a secret few know. Emotional pain, when understood and transmuted, is one of the greatest catalysts of spiritual gifts that exist. Awakened souls often carry deep wounds from early on, experiencing rejections, disappointments, and losses that seem senseless but serve a purpose. Each pain endured is, in fact, an activation, opening a portal to a level of sensitivity that most cannot imagine. This sensitivity is not weakness. It is soul technology. The deeper you feel, the deeper you access. And it is in that abyss that you discover something extraordinary. You have the gift of transforming your pain into healing, not only for yourself, but for all around you. Those with this energetic configuration possess the power of extreme empathy. They absorb, feel, and understand what others live through, even without words. When balanced, this gift manifests as psychic abilities such as sharp intuition, emotional clairvoyance, and even the capacity to heal through presence, sight, or touch. But there is a key. The pain must be traversed, not denied. It must be embraced, not repressed. When you honor your pain as part of your mission, something sacred occurs. It transmutes into wisdom, and that wisdom makes you a beacon for other lost souls. You are not broken, you are an alchemist, and your heart is the sacred laboratory where suffering turns into light. Now that the codes have been deciphered, a greater truth begins to emerge. The heart line and the M mark are not mere aesthetic signs or spiritual curiosities. They are living inscriptions of a mission imprinted on you before birth. They remind you that you carry something sacred, something that cannot be ignored. What Nostradamus hid in his prophecies was not just predictions of future events, but a ciphered message for specific souls. Souls courageous enough to face their sensitivity, their losses, their emotional intensity, and still persevere. Souls who would use that pain as a bridge to something much greater. And what is that? It is love, but not ordinary love. We speak of a love measured not by words or exchanges, but by vibration, a love that heals, a love that reorganizes entire energy fields, the love that pulses directly from the heart chakra and manifests as living light. When pain is transmuted, you were not made to fit into the common world. You were designed to bring a type of energy the world forgot, and your palm confirms it. The intersection of the M mark and the heart line reveals that your mission is directly tied to the emotional plane, but not in a romantic sense. Your presence in the world awakens in others the desire to feel, to remember, to return to themselves. That mark, that line, that drawing on your skin is like a spiritual seal, and when you understand it, everything changes. Anger becomes clarity, pain becomes path, loneliness dissolves into the realization that you were never alone, only awaiting the right moment to activate what has always been yours. The new reality begins when you stop asking why and start declaring, "It is no coincidence that I am here. You are part of a greater plan, and your hand is the map." You came to remind the world what true love is. And to do so, you had to experience all that love is not. Knowing you carry a spiritual code is only the beginning. Now it is time to apply it. The mark and the line are not on your hand by chance. They are tools, keys, portals. And when used consciously, they unlock gifts, healings, and connections that lay dormant. Begin with observation. Examine your hand closely. The M mark usually forms where three main lines intersect: the lifeline, the heart line, and the head line. If the letter M is present and touches or approaches the heart line, you possess one of the rarest traits among the awakened. Notice if the line is deep, has branches, or extends beyond the usual. These details tell stories your body still remembers, even if your mind has forgotten. Then close your eyes, place your hand over your chest, breathe deeply, and envision an emerald green light emanating from your heart into your palm. Feel the connection. This simple practice is an energetic activation. Repeated with intent, it aligns your emotional field with your spiritual mission. You can also use crystals such as rose quartz or malachite. Placing them on your marked hand during meditation, they amplify heart chakra vibration and help clear energetic blockages that hinder the flow of love. Words are tools too. Create a personal decree. For example, I activate my heart seal, awaken, transmute my pain into healing, attract connections that elevate my purpose. Repeat it daily, especially upon waking or before sleeping. And remember, you do not have to walk this journey alone. Sharing your path with other awakened souls strengthens the collective field and dissolves doubts, fears, and isolation. Applying this code is an everyday practice. It shows in how you look at yourself, how you care for your energy, and how you face emotional challenges. You are not here to suffer in silence. You are here to transform your own heart into a living temple, a place where even pain becomes a seed of light. You are not ordinary. You never were. That mark on your hand and the line crossing your heart are not random. They are codes of an ancient mission, a silent calling that now begins to resonate more strongly within you. You are one of the new guardians, not to protect the world like fictional heroes, but to sustain a forgotten frequency, the vibration of true love, living empathy, and wisdom born of pain. While many remain asleep, you begin to remember, and that remembrance is all you need to start your transformation. The world needs you. It needs your light, your sensitivity, your courage to feel. Now it's up to you. Honor what is in your hand. Live what beats in your heart. You were never alone.